shall we start then? Once again confirm, can you see the board?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we will start it. So, good afternoon all. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the second chapter, model number 2, equilibrium of the bodies. So, in short, if we have to define, we are saying equilibrium is nothing but the state of rest or of the uniform motion of the body is nothing but the equilibrium. And the conditions of the equilibrium we have discussed in the last lecture. So, in short, we'll repeat that one and we'll move to the next topic. So, first time, when we are saying the body is in equilibrium, if the body is in equilibrium, it means that net resultant acting on the body has to be is equal to 0. So, in short, we will say resultant will be is equal to 0. So, as we know, summation of fx and summation of fy, these are the components of the resultant. As r is equal to 0, summation of f of x is equal to 0, as well as summation of f of y is equal to 0. Because as we know, the resultant, if you resolve the resultant, its x component will be r cos theta, y component will be the r sin theta. R cos theta is nothing but summation of f of x, and y component is nothing but summation of f of y. Now, in case of the concurrent force system, as already we have discussed in the previous lecture, there is no rotation of the bodies. If you see the question, if you remember the question, in the very first question in the concurrent force system, you are applying only, first you are resolving the forces, then you are adding up all the x component, then adding up all the y components, and then resultant you are finding out by equation r equal to square root of summation of fx square plus summation of f of y square. And angle of the inclination you are finding out by tan theta is equal to summation of f of y divided by summation of f of x. And there you are not considering any moment, because in the concurrent force system, the point of application of the resultant is the same through which all the forces are passing. But in case of the non-concurrent force system means the forces are not passing through the same point. So we need to find out the resultant point of application. Why? Because the rotation of the body takes place, and for that you are applying the variance there. Yeah. So for the non-concurrent forces, in addition to these two conditions, one more condition we are going to apply: summation of moment about any point must be equal to 0. So basically, one condition is the resultant acting on the system is equal to 0, then the body is said to be in equilibrium. As summation of fx and summation of fy are the x and y component of the resultant, so both has to be 0. And if it is a non-concurrent force system, summation of moment about any point must be equal to 0. So this much we have discussed in the last lecture. Then one more point we have discussed in the last lecture is the free body diagram. So free body diagram is what? Free body diagram. The name itself it indicates. It's a diagram of a body and which is free, but free from what? In the previous lecture we have discussed, always the bodies are supported somewhere. If you take the example, I am standing. Where I am supported, I am standing on the floor here. So floor is a support. Suppose you see the ceiling fan. Ceiling fan is also supported. Where it is supported to the ceiling. This blackboard, where it is supported on the vertical wall. So all the bodies are kept in equilibrium as they are supported somewhere, right? So supports are providing some reactions, or in other words, we are saying they are providing the equilibrium force. What is the equilibrium force? The force which keeps the body in equilibrium. I am standing on the ground here. I am standing on the floor here. My weight is acting in the downward direction. So definitely the same amount of force must be there, which must be acting from the downward in the upward direction, and that is provided by the support. That is provided by the floor here. And that force is called equilibrium force. And the net resultant of the resultant and equilibrium force is equal to 0. That's why we are getting the condition R is equal to 0. So these are the conditions of the equilibrium. Then we will discuss about the free body diagram, because we are analyzing the forces which causes the equilibrium of the system. So we need a diagram which shows all the forces acting on the body. So which are the forces acting on the body? 2-3 points we have discussed in the last lecture. The first point we have discussed that always the self weight of the body is acting in vertically downward direction through the center of gravity. Second point we have discussed, whenever there is a support contact with the another body. If the body has got support or contact with the another body, there will be a reaction. So जब भी हम body को free कर रहे हैं, either from the support or from the another body, we need to replace it by reaction. Third point we have discussed, when the bodies are connected by means of a cable, wire or rope, these to be represented, these to be replaced by tension which is acting away from the body. So number of examples also we have discussed in the last lecture. Okay, so basically we will again move to the conditions of the equilibrium. Resultant force acting on the system is equal to 0. That's why it is an equilibrium. Summation of Fx is equal to 0. Summation of Fy is equal to 0. For the non-concurrent force system, all these three conditions will be there. Third condition will be summation of moment about any point must be equal to 0. So let us say first we will consider two force equilibrium. So what is the meaning of two force equilibrium? Means the body is in equilibrium and it is acted upon by two forces only. Let us say two force equilibrium is suppose this body given and it is acted upon by the two forces. Let us say P and Q. These are the two forces acting on the body. So once again, just confirm. Can you see the board and can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. So we are saying first we will discuss about the two force equilibrium. What is the meaning of that? A body is given to you and that body is in equilibrium under the action of two forces. So if the body is under equilibrium under the action of the two forces, then from that I can conclude दोनों का resultant क्या होना चाहिए? दोनों का resultant definitely will be 0. So net forces effect resultant will be equal to 0. So if I add the forces here, I can say P plus Q must be equal to 0. Because both the forces are collinear forces. So addition of these forces has to be equal to 0. Or we can say P must be equal to minus Q. So from this I can conclude if the body is in equilibrium under the action of the two forces, both the forces must be of the same magnitude. P must be equal to Q, but P must be equal to minus Q. इसका मतलब क्या है? Direction has to be opposite. So for the two force equilibrium system, we can conclude that if the body is in equilibrium under the action of two forces, then both the forces must be of the same magnitude and opposite in direction. So इसका मतलब है Q direction has to be along this direction. If I take this direction, this will be wrong. So this is the two force equilibrium. So once again I will repeat, if the body is in equilibrium under the action of the two forces, then both the forces must be of the same magnitude and act in the opposite direction. So two force system हो गया. Then go for the three force equilibrium. So in the three force, by considering the three force equilibrium system, so we are considering three forces. Let us assume a concurrent force system is given. Suppose the body is given to you and it is acting upon by forces of P, Q and R. Yes, any difficulty? Any difficulty? Someone was talking. Yes, किसी का तो mic on है, please switch off the mic. Otherwise, I will remove you from the meeting. Please, if your mic is on, please switch off the mic. Otherwise, I will remove you from the meeting. This is the last warning now. Yes. So in the previous topic, we have discussed about the two force equilibrium. Let us say now we are considering the three different forces are there. Three different forces P, Q, and R are given to you, and let us say the angle between is alpha, beta, and gamma. So if you have to derive, if you have to describe the given diagram.
पप्पा बॅगेचं बघ काहीतरी आता तुला हानी मी तुला जातानाच म्हणलेलं बॅग फाडली जाणे बॅग
D31 शिवाजी जाधव. Shivaji Fatak, I am removing from the meeting. Call me afterwards. So here we are discussing the body is in equilibrium under the action of three concurrent forces. So for such system, we can apply the Lami's theorem. So what is the Lami's theorem that we will see? So first, if anyone asks you describe the given diagram, what you will say? A body is given to you, which is acted upon by how many forces? 3 forces are there. And in addition to that, all the forces are passing through a common point. O, let us say that common point is O. Then we can apply the Lami's theorem for this one to find out the different relation between the different forces out here. So what is the relation? First, I will write the relation. Later on, we will see what is the statement of the Lami's theorem. As per the Lami's theorem statement, P upon sine alpha must be equal to Q upon sine of beta must be equal to R upon sine of gamma. This is the statement of Lami's theorem. So one by one, if I observe it here, P is the force, alpha is the angle between other two forces. Alpha is the opposite angle to the force P and sine of the angle between the other two forces. Same go for Q. Q upon sine of beta, again Q upon beta is the angle between other two forces P and R. Similarly, R upon sine of the angle between other P and Q. So this is the Lami's theorem. So Lami's theorem statement says, now listen carefully, if the body is in equilibrium under the action of three concurrent forces,
काढू इथे बा
Raj Pawar, again you are talking. Now this is last warning. I will remove you from the meeting. Mic off कर दो आपका, Mr. Raj Pawar. So if the body is in equilibrium under the action of three coplanar concurrent forces, then each force is directly proportional to the sine of the angle between other two forces. So as per this statement, we can say P is proportional to sine of alpha, Q is proportional to sine of beta, and R is proportional to sine of gamma. So this is the statement of the Lami's theorem. So what is the statement? If the body is in equilibrium under the action of three concurrent forces, then each force is proportional to sine of the angle between other two forces. So P force है, उसका opposite angle alpha है. So P is proportional to sine of alpha, Q is proportional to sine of beta, and R is proportional to sine of gamma. And if I substitute the constant here, I will get P is equal to K into sine alpha, Q is equal to K into sine of beta, and R must be equal to K into sine of gamma. So K is the proportional of the constant. So here later on K we can say P by sine alpha, K is equal to Q by sine beta, and R is equal to K by sine R by sine alpha. And finally I am writing the statement of the Lami's theorem like this. So P divided by sine of the angle between the other two forces, that is alpha, Q upon sine beta, similarly R upon sine gamma. So this relation Lami's theorem is applied only for three coplanar concurrent forces. So if the three forces are there, directly you can apply this equation. If all the angles are known to you and one of the forces is known to you, you can identify the other two forces. So easily two forces can be identified by the Lami's theorem. And at that time, one force and three angles must be known to you. So this is the statement of the Lami's theorem. Once again, we will revise. The Lami's theorem is applied in case of the three concurrent force system. And the statement is, if the body is in equilibrium under the action of the three concurrent forces, then each force is directly proportional to the sine of the angle between other two forces. So this is the statement of the Lami's theorem. Okay, if you have any doubt in the Lami's theorem, you can ask now. I will wait for some time. Before proceeding further, I will wait. If anyone has any doubt in the Lami's theorem, you can ask. Yes? Anyone has any doubt? Yes, yes. D40, yes.
सर स्टेटमेंट रिपीट करो ना एक बार.
स्टेटमेंट रिपीट करो, ठीक है, लिसन केयरफुली। अच्छा, आवाज तो आ रही है ना?
हाँ हाँ
Yes. So once again in detail I will tell you. See, in the equilibrium we are going to identify the forces, different forces acting on the body. And if the body is acted upon by three concurrent forces, see the forces P, Q and R. So three forces and they are passing through the same point. So I will say it is three forces acting on a body and which are concurrent. So the Lami's theorem says if the body is in equilibrium under the action of three concurrent forces, then each force is directly proportional to the sine of the angle between other two forces. So if you are considering the force P, the opposite angle is alpha. So we will say P is directly proportional to the sine of alpha. Similarly, Q is proportional to the sine of beta, whereas R is proportional to sine of gamma. Then from this equation, if I substitute the constant here K, and finally the Lami's theorem statement is like this: P upon sine alpha must be equal to Q upon sine beta must be equal to R upon sine gamma. So this is the statement of Lami's theorem. So what happens here? This reduces our calculation part. Otherwise, we have this one summation of fx, summation of fy to high. If three forces are acting in the system and they are in equilibrium, better you go for this Lami's theorem, because for calculation purpose it is easy. Even though if you don't want to go for this equation, straight write the equation summation of fx is equal to 0, summation of fy is equal to 0. That method also you can apply here. So when we will solve the numerical, at that time we will apply both, and whichever you find easy that you can apply here. But whenever these three forces are there, three concurrent forces are there, better to go for Lami's. So this is the Lami's theorem. Okay. Now here, after Lami's theorem, we have discussed the free body diagram and everything. Now first we will discuss about some numericals or some basic numericals, and one by one the difficulty level we are going to increase here. Yes. So this question was repeated so many times in the exam. First, try to observe the given diagram here. So whatever given in the question. So here this this question can be solved by the Lami's theorem. So how we can solve it by the Lami's theorem, that we will discuss now. Here what is given to you? A sphere is given to you. A sphere of weight 100 Newton is given to you. It is supported against a wall. This is nothing but the wall. A sphere of weight 100 Newton is supported against a wall and connected by a cable. That OB is a cable or wire. I have written a wire over here. So this cylinder of weight 100 Newton is supported against a vertical wall and connected by a cable OB, and which is making an angle of 15 degrees. He is asking what is the tension in cable OB. So POB equals to what? You got understood the question? Question solve में आ गया? Anyone answer please? A cylinder of weight 100 Newton is given. It is supported against a vertical wall. The contact point is E. Center of the cylinder is O. And that cylinder is connected by a wire which is connecting the center of the cylinder with the wall, and that cable is OB. He is asking how much is the magnitude of TOB. TOB means the tension in cable OB. Now, very first thing, I have to draw the free body diagram. So, free body diagram means the body under analysis, we are going to remove it here. We are detaching the body, or we are separating the body under analysis from the support. Here, which is the body here? The cylinder is the body. So, we are removing the body here first. Remove the body. So, this is just the addition. Size doesn't matter here. So, this is the representation of the body. And then I have to show all the forces acting on it. So, सबसे पहले force कौन सा आएगा? Can anyone tell me which was the first point while drawing the free body diagram? Can anyone tell me सबसे पहले हम क्या करते हैं free body diagram में? Which point you are considering?
So weight of the cylinder.
Yes, weight of the cylinder. So weight of the cylinder कैसे लिखा हूँ मैं? It's always acting in vertically downward direction through the center of gravity of the body. So definitely the weight of the cylinder W, which is given to me as 100 Newton, is acting through the center of the body. Then the next point. Who will tell me the next point? Few points are.
Normal reaction.
Yes. Yes, who will answer it?
Normal reaction, sir.
What is our statement? What is our rule? Our rule is whenever there is a contact, there will be reaction, right? So I know here the cylinder is in contact with the vertical wall at point A. So there will be the normal reaction, and normal reaction is always act in the direction perpendicular to the support. So support is vertical here, so definitely the reaction will act in the direction perpendicular here, and which will be replaced by the reaction RE. This is called reaction at contact point E. Right? So what is the meaning of normal? Normal means perpendicular. जो contact है अपना contact को perpendicular reaction आना चाहिए. So the contact is A, the contact is vertical. So in the free body diagram, that point at point A, a reaction will act in the direction perpendicular. As the support is vertical, definitely reaction will be horizontal here. So this is RE. Then the third point. Third point क्या था अपना? If there is a connection between the bodies by means of a cable, wire, or rope, it is to be replaced by tension, and it acts away from the body. So here you will find out here the OB is the wire. In the free body diagram, OB is replaced by the tension in cable OB, and the tension is always acting away from the body. So tension is acting away from the body. So this is the free body diagram I am getting. Now here I can apply the Lami's theorem. Now why I can apply the Lami's theorem? Can I apply the Lami's theorem? My question is, why can I apply the Lami's theorem here?
Yes.
Yes, definitely. What is the requirement of the Lami's theorem? In the Lami's theorem, the three forces must be there.
Three-force system.
And concurrent forces must be there. Yes. TOB is passing through the center of the cylinder. RA as well as weight all are passing through the cylinder here. So what I will do here, this RA I will shift here by the principle of transmissibility. RA I can show like this. So what the principle of transmissibility says, the force can be assumed to act in the same line of action anywhere on the body, its effect will remain unchanged. RA is horizontal, in the same horizontal direction I can consider RA is acting like this, its effect will remain same. Now I will consider this as the free body diagram. Now to avoid the confusion, I am erasing this. By the principle of transmissibility, RA, reaction A, actually it is acting here. By the principle of transmissibility, I am shifting it here. Now the angles are that you have to find out. Out of this, one force is known to you, the weight of the body is known to you. So the other angles I have to find out here. So how much is the angle here? Here 15 degrees is given here. So if you consider this triangle, this is 15, this is 90 degrees. So how much will be this? This has to be 90 minus 15. So definitely this will be equal to 75 degrees. Anyone has any doubt in this one? 75 degrees? How I am getting TOB at 75 degrees? For that, refer the diagram. The line OB is making 15 degrees with the vertical. If you consider the triangle OAB, this is 15 degrees, this is 90 degrees. So this has to be 90 minus 15. So it will be 75 degrees. Right? Definitely this will be how much then? 90 degrees. The angle between RA and 100 Newton is 90 degrees. This is 75 degrees. So if I have to calculate this angle will be 180 minus 75.
105.
So it has to be 105. And how much will be this total now? Because angle between all the forces I have to calculate. This one is 75 plus this is 90. 90 plus 75. 90 plus 75. 165. 165 and 90. Leibniz theorem, if the body is in equilibrium under the action of three concurrent forces, then each force is directly proportional to the sine of the angle between other two forces. Let us start here. Well, now 100 Newton is there. 100 upon 100 को opposite कौन से forces है? RA and TOB. What is the angle between them? Angle between them is 105. So I will say 100 upon sine of 105 must be equal to, now go for TOB. TOB upon the other two forces other than TOB is RA and 100 Newton. Angle between them is 90.
हेलो सर,
Yes.
वो 165 कैसे आएगा? 90 आएगा ना?
कौन सा?
वो एंगल 165 वाला 90 आएगा ना? वही
ये कितना है? How much is this?
75.
और ये कितना है? ये 90 है. But I want angle between these two forces. These two forces.
ओके सर, ओके ओके.
So TOB divided by sine 90 must be equal to RA upon, which are the forces opposite to RA, TOB and 100 Newton. The angle between them is, this is 90 plus 75, that is sine of 165. So this is the Leibniz theorem. Now if you use these two equations, directly you can find out the angle TOB. Sorry, the force TOB. Use these two equations, you will get the value of TOB. If you use these two equations, you can find out the value of RE. And one more thing. For the next lecture, you sit with the calculator. Whenever I am solving this side by side, you have to do the calculation and you have to tell me the answer, so that the practice हो जाएगा आप लोगों को calculations का. Is it clear? From next lecture, you sit for the lecture with the calculators. Anyone has a calculator? If anyone has the calculator, just calculate and tell me. Here I am getting the value of 3 is equal to 103.5 Newton. And RA is equal to 26.8 Newton. So this is the first method. By Leibniz theorem, directly I can apply this one. By applying the Leibniz theorem, I am getting TOB and RA simply by measuring the angles. The alternative method I will tell you. That alternative method is, now I am saying the body is in equilibrium. So as the body is in equilibrium, the condition is resultant of the system has to be is equal to 0. And the resultant has to be 0 means what? Summation of fx is equal to 0. Summation of fy is equal to 0, because this is a concurrent force system. So you can apply the condition summation of fx and summation of fy is equal to 0. So how to apply that conditions I will tell you. First thing is, if I apply the equation summation of f of y is equal to 0. This is the condition of the equilibrium. Yeah, again this is the condition. This body is in equilibrium. So I can apply the conditions of the equilibrium. So first point, 100 Newton force. It's a vertical force acting in downward direction. So it will be minus 100. Next, move to the force RA. RA is a horizontal force. Its y component will be 0. TOB direction and plus TOB sine of 75 must be equal to 0. So the alternative method, by applying the conditions of equilibrium, I can find out here. I will say summation of fy is equal to 0. If I apply the equation 100 Newton acting in the downward direction, so minus 100, TOB, if I resolve it, its vertical component will be TOB sine 75. It will act in the upward direction. So it will be plus TOB sine 75. So from this equation, I will get the TOB value. And you will find out the answer will be same. Either you apply the Lami's theorem or the conditions of equilibrium. Similarly, if I apply the equation summation of f of x is equal to 0. So get the forces, x component of all the forces. So this force is a vertical force, its x component will be 0. RA is a horizontal force, it's acting towards right hand side, so it will be plus RE. TOB, if I resolve, its y component will act in this direction here, and y component will be TOB cos of now angle with the horizontal is 70. And this is acting towards left hand side. As this is acting towards left hand side, so it has to be negative. So minus TOB cos of 75 must be equal to 0. So from this equation, TOB you are already known to you. You can calculate directly the value of R. So there is another method. Either you can use Lami's theorem or you can use this conditions of equilibrium. Choice is yours, and both will give you the same answers here. जो आपको easy लगेगा that you can draw. Okay, let us have one more example, which is also repeated so many times. And before erasing, just I will keep it for 1 or 2 minutes. Just observe it, and if anyone has any doubt, you can ask.
Sir, answer 29. Sorry, 26.79 है क्या?
Just 1 minute. Yes.
Sir, answer 26.79 है क्या?
Answer T का 103.5. T is equal to 103.5. You can tell me, I will write the answer over here. Here I am getting T is equal to 103.5 Newton. And RA I am getting 26.8. If you have the calculator, you can calculate.
Yes, sir, it is correct.
Yeah, it has to be correct. It is correct. Yes, anyone has any doubt here? So this question will be asked in the first compulsory question for 4 marks. And there the marking system also I will tell you. First thing is, for the free body diagram, correct free body diagram, 1 mark is there. This free body diagram carries 1 mark. And here 1.5 for this one and 1.5 for this one. So the marks will be given in the step. So if your free body diagram is correct, you will get 1 mark. If this one is correct, you will get 1.5 more marks. And if this is correct, then you will get the full marks here. Is it clear? Shall we go for the next question? Yes. So similar question is there because repeated in exam so many times. So the conclusion of this one is, if the body is under equilibrium under the action of 3 forces, you can go for both the methods, either the conditions of equilibrium or Lami's theorem. Can you see the diagram? So here you can see, if I have to describe the given diagram, a cylinder of weight 200 Newton is there, and it is kept in a V channel. The cylinder is kept in a V channel. On the right hand side, the support is making an angle of 45 degrees. On the left hand side, the support is making an angle of 60 degrees. Is the diagram clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Diagram समझ में आ गया सबको?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? Only 2 students are replying.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. सबसे पहले अभी क्या करना है? Free body diagram निकालना है. So in the free body diagram, let us see. I am drawing the free body diagram. So the first point is always the self weight. Show the self weight. Self weight is acting in the vertically downward direction. This is 200 Newton. एक तो हो गया. Now you have to tell me next for the self weight.
Perpendicular.
RA and RB.
Yes. Let us say the left hand contact of the cylinder with the support is A and right hand support is B. So the cylinder on left hand side is in contact with the inclined surface of 60 at contact point A. So we are saying whenever there is a contact, there will be reaction, and that reaction will be in the direction perpendicular to the support. So if I show here, this is the reaction mode. This is the reaction RE. Similarly, this is the reaction RB. And as it has to be perpendicular, so this angle will be 90 and this angle will be 90. And here, can anyone tell me how much will be this inclination? You understood this one? Whenever there is a contact, there will be reaction. So reaction at A will be perpendicular. This is 90, this is 60. How much will be this?
30.
60, this will be 30. Move to this triangle. This is perpendicular, this is 90 degrees, this angle is 45 degrees. तो ये कितना होना चाहिए?
45.
40.
And now we show the forces here. This is RA. This will be RB. And don't forget to show the angles. This angle is 30. So RA is making an angle of 30 degrees here. This angle will be 30. RB is making 45 degrees. So this angle has to be 45 degrees. So again, as I know, the body is under equilibrium under how many forces? 3 forces. So I can go for Lami's theorem as well as I can go for conditions of equilibrium. So suppose I am applying the conditions of equilibrium. So what will happen? That means, so if I write the condition summation of f of y equals to 0, what condition I will do? So here first I will resolve the forces so that it will be easy for understanding. So RA, x component, y component, this will be RA cos of 30, this will be RA sin of 30. Similarly, resolve force RB. This will be RB sin of 45, and this will be RB cos of 45. First, resolve the forces if you are applying the conditions of equilibrium. So, if I write the summation of Fy is equal to 0, 200 Newton acting in the downward direction minus 200 Newton. Go for the force Ra. Its y component is acting in upward direction, that is Ra sin 30. Upward direction means plus Ra sin of 30. Then go to Rb. Rb vertical component is Rb sin 45, acting in upward direction. So this will be plus Rb sin 45. Must be equal to 0. Now what happens here? Here 2 unknowns we are getting. In the previous condition, one force was horizontal, right? Ra was horizontal, so its y component was 0. That's why in one of the equation you are getting one unknown, in the other equation you are getting the second unknown. But here, as both the unknown forces are inclined forces, both are having x and y component. Here you will get the 2 equation in terms of 2 unknowns, Ra and Rb. Okay, so RA and RB, this equation I can write here. RA sin 30 plus RB sin 55 equal to 200. Let us say equation number 1 values. Now go for the second condition, summation of f of x is equal to 0. 200 Newton force is vertical force, its x component will be 0. X component of RA is RA cos 30 acting towards right positive. RB x component is RB cos 45 acting towards left, so it will be negative. So I will say RA cos 30 minus RB cos 45 must be equal to 0, and this is the equation number 2. So here you are getting the two equations in terms of two unknowns. So solve the equations, the simultaneous equation 1 and 2, directly you will get the value of RA and RB. Okay. Or another method is, if you don't want to solve the equation, you can write the equation for RA. Cos 30 you can substitute, cos 45 you can substitute. You will get the equation for RA in terms of RB. Get the equation for RA in terms of RB. You will get RA is sometime point. Only one equation, one unknown will be there, and you can solve this equation. Otherwise, and again, practice करो the calculations का practice करो, calculator use करने के लिए सीख लो. In the calculation, directly equation mode is there. So there, ax plus bx is equal to c. Such equations, simultaneous equation, you can solve in the equation mode. Go through the manual of the calculator. There it is given how to solve this one, and solve this directly here. There you have to substitute directly this value. Two unknowns are there. This is x and this is y. This you have to put sin 30, 0.5, sin 45. You can directly substitute to sin 45. In the equation mode, you have to go. Just go refer the manual of the calculator there. So this way, two unknowns, simultaneous equations you are getting in terms of RA and RB. After solving, you will get both the values of RA and RB. Another method I told you, here only RA and RB are the two unknowns. Get value of RA in terms of RB. So you will get the equation of RA in terms of RB. Substitute that RA value here. Only one unknown will remain, that is RB. You will get the value of RB. So two different methods are there. And after calculating, you tally your answers. I am getting value of RA equals to 146.41. Note down the answer, later on you tally your answers. And RB equals to 179.31.
So I got RA is equal to 147.05 and RB is equal to 178.8. So
नहीं.
one so calculator से किया.
लैमिस थ्योरम लगा रहे हो क्या?
तो यही मेथड है, कैलकुलेटर से कैलकुलेट किया तो एक का डिफरेंस आ रहा है.
नहीं इतना
147 and 178.
नहीं इतना नहीं आएगा डिफरेंस. These are the values by Lami's theorem. I have calculated this by Lami's theorem.
Okay.
So whatever you are getting, that you write, but it should not be major difference. इतना major difference नहीं आएगा इसमें. Hardly one का difference है. ठीक है? So these are the values of RA and RB. आपण गुड काही काम नाही. आपण गुड काम नाही. नाही. तीन चुद्दा. हां. तीन चुद्दा. एक. मला किती वाटतं? दाखव. मार्क करते. आलो ना? Yes. Yes. Observe the diagram carefully. So today only we will discuss about the free body diagram. Numerical we will solve in next lecture. Can you see the diagram?
Yes, sir.
I will read the question for you. The question was given, and you will see in 80% of the question paper, this numerical is there by changing the value, changing the values and angles here. So the numerical is like this: two smooth cylinders of weight 100 Newton and radius 250 millimeter are kept in horizontal channel of width 900 millimeter. Determine reaction at contact surfaces assuming all contact surfaces to be smooth. क्या मतलब उसका smooth का? They are frictionless. I'll repeat the question once again. Two smooth cylinders, cylinder A and cylinder B, of weight 100 Newton, WA equal to WB is equal to 100 Newton, are kept in a horizontal channel of width 900. So this is the horizontal channel. Its width, total width is given as 900. Okay. So this is 250, this is 250, and distance is in between A and B, horizontal distance is 400. So total will be 900. Width of the channel is given as 900 millimeters. And you have to determine the reaction at the support. So very first thing, I will find out how many supports are there. So observe the diagram carefully. Observe the cylinder E. Cylinder A is in contact with the vertical wall at contact point 1, with the horizontal wall at the contact point 2. Cylinder B is in contact with the vertical wall at point 3, and both the cylinder are in contact at point 4. So कितने contact है total? 4. Cylinder A contact number 1 and 2, and contact number 4 with the cylinder B, whereas the cylinder B is in contact with the vertical wall at contact point 3. So total मुझे 4 reactions निकालनी है यहाँ. So to solve the such question, I know that if it is a single cylinder is there, in case of the single cylinder, you are getting the three forces and concurrent forces you are getting. Easy to apply the Lami's theorem or conditions of equilibrium. But whenever two cylinders are there, the number of unknowns will be more. Lami's theorem हम कब apply कर सकते हैं? If only three forces are there, right? And out of the three forces, one force is known to you, and all angles are known to you. But here you will find out total 1, 2, 3, 4 forces are there. So how to deal with such person? So in such cases, what you do, don't apply your head. Straight way, draw the free body diagram of both the cylinders separately. Cylinder A or cylinder B का separate free body diagram निकालो. Let us see what happens here, and later on we will decide from where to start. Are you getting my point? First, if two cylinders are given to you, straight away draw free body diagram of cylinder, both the cylinders separately. Cylinder A free body diagram, cylinder B free body diagram. So if I draw the free body diagram of cylinder A, let us see. This is the cylinder A. First one, weight of the cylinder A, which is given to me as 100 Newton here. So this is weight 100 Newton. Second one, at the contact point 1, reaction 1 will be there, R1 will be there. So that R1 I will show. This is R1. To avoid the confusion, I am showing the direction here. Actually, R1 is acting at point 1 by the principle of transmissibility. I am showing R1 here in the same line of action. Then contact point 4 is there, which is the contact between the two cylinders. Let us say that is 4. And that 4 will be like this here. And by the principle of transmissibility, I am shifting it here. This is R4. And let us say this angle is theta. I don't know the angle. So if I draw the free body diagram of cylinder A, this is the free body diagram. Once again, observe carefully. R1, weight of the block, weight of the cylinder 100, like this. R4 is the reaction by cylinder B on cylinder A. That's why I'm showing it in downward direction. So R4 by the principle of transmissibility, I'm showing it like this. And R2 is also contact point 2. So this will be R2. So this is the free body diagram of cylinder A. Similarly, go for free body diagram of cylinder B. If I draw the free body diagram of cylinder B, the weight of the cylinder B again the same, which is given to me as 100 Newton. Because in the question itself it is given, both the cylinders weights are same. So cylinder B का weight आ गया यहाँ पे. Then 3, contact point 3, reaction 3 will act like this. This is the reaction 3. By the principle of transmissibility, I can shift here. Actually, this is acting here. By transmissibility principle, I am shifting it here. This is R3 and R4. When I think in the last lecture I have told you, the reaction at 4 will come in picture when you are separating the two bodies, right? So that's why R4 will come here. R4 now, R4 is the reaction provided by cylinder A on B. Observe carefully here. R4 is the reaction of cylinder A on B. So it is acting on the cylinder B now. जब मैं A consider करता था, at that time R4 is the reaction by cylinder B on A. That's what direction is here. Now R4 is the reaction by cylinder A on B. So the reaction will be like this. This is the R4 here. And by principle of transmissibility, I can show R4 out. So these are the two free body diagrams. Observe both the free body diagrams carefully. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Its solution we will find in next lecture.
Sir,
Free
how
body
we-
diagram को समझ में आ गया? Anyone has any doubt in cylinder's free body diagram A and B?
sir,
No,
how
sir.
we'll know that R1, R2, and R4 like they are coming towards the body or going away, like arrow?
You are not listening carefully.
How we will know that R1, R2, and R4 are coming towards the body or going away from it?
Always they are towards the body, towards the contact.
So arrow will be inwards, no?
So that's why I am telling you, you are not listening. 3 times I have repeated. I am using principle of transmissibility. One of the force I will show. See, reaction 1 will act here. This is R1. So
Yes, sir,
R1
got it.
is perpendicular. This is perpendicular. Always it is normal to the contact, perpendicular to the contact. Contact is vertical, reaction will be horizontal. So actually it is passing through this. But by the principle of transmissibility, this is R1. जो दिखाया है, this is R1. By the principle of transmissibility, I can shift it here like this. So what is the principle of transmissibility? In the first chapter we have discussed. The force can be assumed to be acting in the same line of action anywhere, its effect will remain same. यानी ये R1 जो force है उसी line पे कहाँ पे भी हम assume कर सकते हैं. So for easy for the calculation, R1 I am shifting here. Actually R1 is acting here. So it is passing through the center. So instead of showing it R1 here, I can show it R1. Yeah. Any other doubt? And this hold for all the forces here. Even R2. R2 is acting like this. R2 is acting from downward direction. This is the direction for R2. So in the same line of action, I can show it upward. So that's why I am showing R2 acting in the upward direction. Same with R4. Yes. Anyone has any doubt here? Observe the free body diagram carefully. So only we will discuss the free body diagrams here. Its solution tomorrow we will discuss. किसी doubt है और?
No, sir.
Audible? Hello? आवाज आ रही है क्या मेरी?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Only 2 minutes I will take because your readable lecture is also there. Now here, how many unknowns are there? In this free body diagram, how many unknowns are there? 1, 2, 3, and theta. कितने unknowns हो गए? 4. How many unknowns are here? 1, 2, and 3. So total unknown in the free body diagram of the cylinder B are 3, and in the cylinder A are 4. How many conditions of equilibrium I am having? For the concurrent force system, I got only 3 conditions. Sorry, only 2 conditions for the concurrent. So anyhow, if I am able to find out this theta अगर मुझे मिल गया, so I can only 2 unknowns will remain, R3 and R4. Right? In both the cases, this is concurrent force system. So go for the free body diagram of B. Anyhow, find out theta. Theta मिलने के बाद R3 and R4 you will get. R3, R4 मिलने के बाद go for here. R3, R4 is known to you. Only two unknowns will be there. R2 and R1. You can finalize that. So that we will see in tomorrow's lecture. Thank you. I think your BW lecture is scheduled at 3 at 2 o'clock.
सर असाइनमेंट के लिए न्यू नोटबुक करनी है.